Okay, so it's Saturday, the 14th, 13th, 14th. Hold on. Let me get my shit straight. Saturday, September 13th at 3:10 in the morning. Yeah, it's late. I slept pretty much all day today. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I went to bed, let's see, around 5 in the morning, 4 or 5. Woke up at about 8 to this guy's text message. Um, oh, I'm supposed to meet tomorrow. Um, James, that's his name. I had to look through my phone. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, I'm supposed to meet this guy named James tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. But, oops, no. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna take my glasses off, so I don't really need them, I guess, when I'm just on my computer talking to my phone, to my computer, my video diary. So you can see I'm not wearing any makeup today. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, pretty much didn't sleep. Didn't really do much except sleep today. I probably should have done some job applications, but I didn't do that. So I guess first we'll talk about the text messages that I got today. I mean, nothing really super significant like the other day, but I guess every time I do, shut up phone, and you're dying, and I have you on the fucking cord. I guess just every time I do a video diary, I'll go through my text messages and I'll read them to you so that you know what happened today, but, so yeah, that'll be a structured thing, like, I'll run through what I did today, and then the text messages. Yeah, sounds good. Oh, terrible. Okay, so first of all, let's see. Today yeah, like I said, I barely did anything today. I read chapter 2 of The Giver, and then I went back to sleep for a while because I was falling asleep at the desk right here. I was falling asleep here. I went back to sleep for like 5 hours, and then I woke up at about 7 or 7:30, and then I tried to call my dad, and he said he'd call me back around 8, and so so then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go to the pharmacy and pick up my medication and then pick up dinner. So at about 7:30, I left and did that, and picked up my Ativan from the pharmacy, which I honestly really need right now because just shit. It keeps my mind from racing and keeps me from obsessing about things too much anyway. Although my dad says that, oh, well, meds aren't enough anyway, I'll get into that later. Yeah, so I did that, got my Ativan, then I went and got some dinner from BMG Thai, the usual I usually get, which is the pad see ew noodle thing. It's really good. Never imagined that would be good, but that's the only way I like to eat my vegetables, is that it has broccoli and carrots. I think it has carrots. Yes. Broccoli and carrots in it, and noodles and beef. And it's really good. Shut up. Yes. Jesus. Yeah, so how's that? And then, so then I took my, while I was waiting for my dinner, my dad called me back, but I couldn't answer the phone, obviously, because I was in the restaurant, and I don't like my dad to know that when I'm doing shit like that. For one thing, I know I probably could be spending my money a little bit better. For another thing, he doesn't like to hear about me eating things like that. So, because it's always been like, oh, you need to be on a diet and yada, yada, yada. So, that's just the way it goes, I guess. I know it looks like I kind of cut my hair, but no, I did not. It's still long as hell. It just looks short, I guess, because of stuff. And because of the way the lighting is, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, then I got home and I called my dad back, and I will get into that conversation later. But first, I mean, that was kind of a depressing conversation, to say the least. But, anyway, so after I finally got off the phone with my dad, I ate the rest of my dinner, and then I did the dishes, and then I played some Zelda, and then that was it. Now I'm here talking to you. So, anyway, alright, well, let's go through the text messages today. From today, I didn't really have much significance, but let's see, from today, or from technically yesterday. I texted Casey because, well, I texted Casey because I didn't, there's some stuff going on, and I wanted to see if we were still cool, I guess. I mean, we never really actually got in a fight, or he never confronted me, but confession time, I kind of threw him under the bus the other day. I got really angry at Steven and Corinne, but basically I got really angry at Steven, and because he wouldn't answer my question, he wouldn't answer me why he broke up with me. He totally lied to me. Corinne told me that he lied to me about why he broke up with me, and I was like, what the hell? So I tried to text him about it, and he just totally told me that he's like, oh, you don't deserve it. I think I told you that. So then I went on the computer and I created a text me account and used a 206 area code, and it was totally incriminating myself, but I pretended to be someone else. I pretended to be a friend of mine and started asking Steven questions, originally thinking that he might be like, oh, well, maybe I should talk to Grace. But he didn't. He just kept ignoring me and ignoring me and ignoring me and being a piece of shit. So I got really frustrated and I told him that I was going to come over there and have a talk with him if he didn't talk to me. So, pretending to be my friend saying this. And I guess it got to the point where he thought I was threatening him. And then he told his mommy. And then his mom, Camilla, she texted me yesterday. I guess it was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember when this happened. I think it was the day before. And she's just like, "Dear, we have a problem. You, one of your little buddies is threatening my son, and one of your little buddies is threatening Steven, and can you just tell him to stop? And, because it's illegal and blah de blah." So I was like, "Oh damn, I don't want them to call the cops because they'll find out it's me." So I was like, I pretended, I played stupid, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sure, I will definitely tell him that." What? And then she's like, "Oh yeah, and the number was blah de blah," and I was like, "That's a 206 area code." "Oh yeah, I know that person. He has a thing for me," and blah de blah, and I just played it off. I think, and I'm pretty sure they believed me. I mean, it seems like they do. I mean, I think they do because Camilla was like, "Oh no, don't worry. He doesn't think that you sent the pud whacker and or the little rat or whatever the hell she called him." And then I waited a few hours, and I guess I did text Steven, and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, my friend texted you and was harassing you. That wasn't right. That wasn't his business." And he texted me back like right away, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay. It wasn't your fault. He makes his own decisions." And I was like, he's like, "Yeah, just to be honest, I think it was Casey." And I was like, "Oh, so I mean, yeah, I kind of did a shitty thing, and I threw Casey under the bus." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. It was Casey." And I feel bad for it. I probably shouldn't, but honestly, I want the guy to get off of my back though. Like, he's buying me presents and all this shit. Like, he's, I mean, I know I probably could have gone about it a better way, but like, no matter how many times I tell Casey that I'm not interested, he keeps telling me that, shut up. He keeps pushing it. Like, he'll keep, pushing the envelope, saying, "Oh, look, I got you a gift. I bought you a necklace. I bought you a ring." I don't want a ring, Casey. This is not, he's wearing this ring. He's wearing a promise ring right now. And it's like, really, dude? Promising what? Because I'm not promising anything. I told him over and over and over again after Steven and I broke up, I was like, "I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm sorry. I'm not." So, oh, what his deal is, I don't know. I know he probably didn't deserve me to throw him under the bus like that. And I kind of have the feeling that Steven might have talked to him about it or something, or said something to him, because I tried to text Casey today and he didn't even answer. All he said was, "Hey, how's it going?" And he didn't even say anything back. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking though that he ended up finding out that Steven tried to talk to him or sent him a message on Facebook or something. I mean, if he sent him a message through that number, he's not going to get much because that's my number. And I'm never going to check it again. So, yeah, all I said was, "Hey, how's it going?" And he never answered. So then, let's see, who else did I talk to? I tried to talk to that guy, Alex, from. I met this guy named Alex last week, and we went out to this place called the Lunchbox Factory or some crap like that in Bellevue. And we met, and I guess he's a virgin, and he wasn't very talkative. I don't know what the deal is, but he hasn't really talked to me that much in the past week, and so I don't think he's very interested, to be honest. But anyway, I did try to text him yesterday, and and just like, hey, you, how's it going? Haven't heard from you in a few days. The last time I heard from him was September 7th. And 2 minutes, it was at 6:50 when I texted him. So 6:50 p.m. when I texted him, and at 6:52 p.m. he answered, "Ah, hey, been good, busy, in Tacoma for the weekend. How about yourself?" All right, girls. When a guy says they're busy, that means they're not interested. Most of the time. I mean, because if you're interested, you will find some time to talk to someone. You can't be that busy that you aren't able to talk to send a text every once in a while or even every day. You can't be that busy. So that was a bullshit lie. I knew that, but I was just like, all right. So then I answered back, and at 7:03. I'm like, that's cool. Visiting your parents and or friends. I'm doing all right. Just been applying for jobs as usual. LOL. And then he didn't answer back for like almost 20 minutes, or I guess you would say 15. So at 7:18, he answered back both. So basically a one-word answer, and I'm like, okay. All right. So rule of thumb, from now on, I am not answering one-word answer texts. Just not going to. One-word answer texts are for confirmations, or they're just cop-outs. So, I'm just going to leave it up to him from now on. If he wants to talk to me, then he's going to have to text me from now on. So, I guess that was our first and last date last week, because I don't really think that it's going to work out, because it doesn't look like he's interested. And I'm not really in the mood to push or be, clingy anymore. So, if he wants to talk to me, he will. If he doesn't, then he won't. I'm not going to push the envelope, though, anymore. So, yeah, okay, and then I tried to call my dad up. I told you about that. Tried to call my dad earlier today at like 6:30 or something, and then he texts me back, and he's like, working until 8. We'll ring you back then. And then I was like, okay, so I went back to sleep for a little while until like 7. And then I went out at 7:30, and then, or wait, no, I guess I did get up at that hour, at that time. So then I was like, okay, no problem, talk to you then at 7 o'clock. And then I left at 7:30, and then my dad called me back at like 8:05. And then while I was sitting there waiting for my food, so then I lied to him, well, technically not a lie, because I did go to the pharmacy before that. But I was like, hey, Dad, at the pharmacy picking up my prescription took longer than I thought. I'll call you in a few. I'll be home soon. And it took me like 20 minutes to get home. whoops. Yeah. So, let's see, and then I talked to James today. Quite a bit, it looks like. He texted me for the first time today, I guess. And he texted me at 8:21 in the morning this morning. I'm like, really, dude? Ugh. But I had my phone ringer off for text, so I didn't hear it. But I did wake up, and I happened to see his text. I woke up at like 9 and saw it, so then I answered. But anyway, at 8:21 a.m. this morning, he's like, "Hi, it's James." I woke up at like 9, and then at 9:04, I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then 9:05, he answered, "Good, heading to third service calls." I didn't know what that meant, so I was like, at 9:10, I was like, "That's cool, not really sure what that is, lol." And then at 9:10, he's like, "Hi, I fix high-end appliances." And then at 9:11, I'm like, "Did you mean 3 service calls?" And then at 9:11, he's like, "U, capital U." I don't know what the hell that means. 9:12, he's like, "No, going to third of 9." And then I was at 9:12, I was like, "Oh, nice, that's right, I forgot." I'm working on not apologizing for anything, but I guess he thought I apologized anyway, because next statement was, he texted at 9:12, he's like, "It's okay, hun, what do you do?" And then at 9:13, it's like, "Oh, okay, lol, well, damn, that sounds like a busy day." And then at 9:13, he's like, "Nope, not really, did 12 yesterday." And then at 9:14, I'm like, "Oh, wow, well, how long do each of those take? Or rather, how long are your days?" And then at 9:15, I was like, "And I am a mobile notary right now while I'm looking for clerical administrative work." And then at 9:15, he answered, "It all depends what problem and appliance it is." 9:16, he said, "Most times done by 4." And then 9:16, I said, "What time do you start?" And then 9:18, he's like, 8 or 9. 9:19, he said, "You're very cute." 9:22, I said, "Oh, that's not bad. For some reason, I thought you worked longer hours." 9:23, I said, "Thank you," smiley face. And then 9:56, he said, "You're welcome. What kind of hours do you work?" 10:09, I said, "Well, I work on call right now, so my hours see all right now." And then 10:10, I said, "Crap, meant to say my hours are all over the place right now, lol." And then 10:33, he said, "When do you want to get together?" And then 10:41, I said, "Well, not really sure. I have some time this weekend. If of if of you are free then." And then at 10:42, he said, "I am. When, hun?" I said, at 10:47, I said, "Huh?" At 10:47, he said, "I'm free. A certain parts of Saturday. When are you free?" And at 10:49, I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, Saturday is fine. When you free then?" 10:52, he said, "Either way, early or afternoon. I'll actually be in Bothell early." 11 o'clock a.m., I said, "Like, how early?" And then 11:17 a.m., I said, I'm not a huge morning person, but if you want to meet up at the Starbucks on 164th and Bothell Everett Highway, that's be okay, I think. God, I have terrible text typos just because this phone is a piece of shit. I hate it. 11:18, he said I could do that way you can go back to bed. Oh, I could do that. That way you couldn't go back to bed if you want. LOL. That's what I plan on doing after I get breakfast. And then 11:53, I said, yeah, I probably will. Ha ha. And then 12:35 p.m., I said, followed up with, so yeah, probably best to meet at the Starbucks in the Albertsons next to McDonald's. And then 12:43, he said, okay, NP, which means no problem. And then at 4:20, I said, so what time do you want to meet tomorrow? And then 4:21, he said, does 9 work? And then 4:25, I said, yeah, that's fine. 4:26, he said, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Or, not yeah. He said, 4:26, he said, I'm looking forward to it. 4:39, he said, I'll try not to get your mind going too much since it will be early. And then 4:41, I said, LOL, okay. I'll do my best to be as awake as I can. Looking forward to it too. Smiley face. 4:41, he said, and I'll keep my hands to myself, I promise. LOL. And I didn't answer that because I'm not very comfortable with statements like that. That's just kind of creepy and weird that he would say something like that. So we'll see how that goes. I am not sure how this date's gonna go, especially after he said that. Kind of like, but yeah, from now on, I'm kind of at the stage where I'm like, if I don't have anything nice to say, then I'm not going to say anything at all anymore because honestly, I'm tired of getting in fights. I don't want to be all dramatic. So I'm going to practice doing that with other people before Steven. If Steven says something I don't like, then I'm not going to respond to it either. Steven, for example, snaps at me if we are friends and he snaps at me for no reason, then I'm just going to hang up the phone. Or I'm just not going to answer the phone. Answer any text that he says. That's what I'm going to do. And be like, nope, I'm not engaging in this. Sorry. Nope. This is what you get, Steven, for making me feel like a piece of shit. Anyway. I went off on a tangent. So, anyway, so I didn't answer that comment. And then, so at 8:04 p.m., he texted me again. He's like, how is your evening going? And then at 8:08, I said, it's going all right. Just hanging at home. How's yours going? And then at 8:17, he said, good, just hanging out with my nieces and nephews. I said, at 8:30, I said, that's cool, sounds like fun. And then at 8:31, he said, I'm very excited to see you, though. Well, let's fucking hope so. And then at 9:53, I said, yeah, me too, smiley face. And then at 9:54, he said, what kind of music do you like? And at 9:57, I said, all kinds. Just anything that sounds good, I guess. LOL. Coldplay and The Killers are awesome. What about you? I don't know what the hell that means. But he said, at 10 o'clock, he said, lots of EPMD. I also like Coldplay, and I passed out again. I took a huge nap again for like 3 hours. So, yeah. Alright, going up the list. I also talked to Valerie today for a little while. So I texted her at 6:51 p.m. and I said, "Hey you, how's it going? How was your week?" And then at 7:07 p.m. she said, "Doing okay, except my phone is being a poop. How are you?" And then at 7:11 I said, "I'm doing okay, just trying to find a job still. Had an interview yesterday, but it doesn't pay enough, and it's only part-time." Face. I've been applying for jobs while waiting for my notary license. By the way, I don't know if I told you. And then at 7:12, she answered, "We signed your license, but it hasn't been activated." And then I answered, "No, not yet. It takes 2 weeks." And then at 7:14, I said, "And then I have to get the stamp. Hopefully that takes less time." And then she said, "Hope so." 7:26, I said, "Yeah, so what have you been up to?" 7:27, she said, "Not much. James pulled a ligament in his ribs." Ouch. So we have been home buddies. 7:36, I said, "Oh damn, that sucks. Well, hope he gets better soon. I've been really sick with a sinus infection, so same for me. I just got put on a 24-day course of Augmentin." And then she said at 7:40, "I have an ear infection." 7:42, I said, frowny face, "Aw, I'm sorry. Well, we're just all sorts of messed up, aren't we?" And then 7:43, she said, "Yes, we all are. I feel only mildly pathetic." 7:46, I said, "Well, ear infections are horrible too. I hope you feel better soon." 7:47, she said, "Me too, just picking up my prescription now. You need to feel better too." At 8:06 p.m., I said, "That's good. Did they put you on antibiotics? And thanks, smiley face. I hope you get better too." At 8:35, she said, "They did, but my pharmacy didn't get the request. Now I have to wait." And then at 9:25 p.m., I said, "Well, damn. So you have to come back tomorrow?" And then she answered, "I don't know." And then at 9:37, I was like, "Oh," frowny face. 9:38, she said, "Yeah, freaking sucks." 9:54, I said, "That does freaking suck. I know how you feel. I would be so irritated." At 10:02, she said, "Yep." And then Camilla and I even talked a little bit today. So that was interesting. I was trying not to be. I'm kind of warming up with Camilla right now. Like I'm not trying to be drama at all. Trying to be drama free and then be like totally like positive, I guess, and sound fun. So this was our conversation. And then I was like, so yeah, at 8:15, p.m., I texted her, "Hey, how's it going?" At 8:44, she answered, "It's okay. Stephen and I have Juliet. We are hoping Miranda comes home from work soon. How are you?" And then at 9:27, I answered, well, that's cool. I'm doing pretty good. Had an interview yesterday. I found out it was for part-time only when I got there, but at least I got out there and got some practice." So yeah, I was trying to be positive. I felt like it was a waste of fucking time. But anyway, she answered, at 9:31. She's like, "Good, every little bit helps. Never give up, you will do fine." It all sounds very trite, but that's 'cause it's true. Big plans for the weekend? And then at 9:40, I answered, "Thanks, smiley face. I'm meeting someone at Starbucks tomorrow morning, then might go up to Marysville after that and go to the casino with my friends Valerie and James," which that part's a complete lie. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I might go up there, but I'm not sure yet. I don't think I'm going to go to the casino, but how will she know that? Because I don't have Facebook anymore. So I just kind of lied. I embellished a little bit. But I am going to Starbucks in the morning at the crack of ass to meet someone, so. Anyway, she answered back at 9:42. "That sounds awesome. I hope you have fun. Don't get too carried away." And then at 9:56, I answered, "LOL, I won't, smiley face. I don't plan on really spending any money. We're going there to some show, I think, and to go dancing." I just made up the first thing I could think of, which sounded realistic, I think. And then at 9:57, she answered, "Ooh, nice. We'll have a lovely time." And then at 10:21, I answered, "Thank you, and you all have a lovely time as well." And then at 10:26, she answered, "Thank you. Conrad and Michael are coming early Monday with Nick and Tyler following, and some new dude after that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Week ending in tournament Saturday." And then that was the end of our conversation because I fell asleep. So, I guess that's it. Yeah, the only other text I have was, "Bank of America available balance for account 5124 is at or below 8907 on 9/13/2014 because I bought Thai food. But I have $100 in savings and my mom owes me like $200, so." Oh, Radio's gonna go through my phone calls as well. So yeah, pretty much the only phone calls I had today were QFC Pharmacy called to tell me that my prescription for Ativan was ready, which I was like, yay, finally. I was like, yay, I didn't expect them to get back to, I didn't expect them to refill my prescription again, to be honest, but I mean, my anxiety's been bad lately, so, yeah, I totally got some more. And then, yeah, I talked to my dad. And that conversation was rather unpleasant because he's not very understanding. He's just kind of a jerk. I don't know, like we talked about stuff and then he's like, I don't know. Maybe I should record some conversations eventually. But he was pretty mean. Like everything that I said, you know, he's like, "You need to see a counselor. You really need help. Blah, blah, blah." I know I need help, Dad. Okay, I understand that. But you could be a little more supportive. How about that? I appreciate your help. I really do. I really appreciate his help. It's not like I don't appreciate his help. And I wasn't hinting when I said that about the whole thing about having to move out of my apartment. I wasn't hinting that I needed more money. I was just saying, I was just trying to speak realistically. Because that's the way he's brought me up, is to think realistically. I'm not trying to think negatively. I just want to be prepared for what happens if things don't work out. And I have a feeling that they might not. Because you know, anyway, he's just, he's bashing me. It's like, I know, Dad, I have a lot of emotional problems, but I mean, do you ever stop to think why? Like, basically, he told me, like, he's like, what'd you go to the pharmacy for? Because I told him I went to the pharmacy. And I was like, I went and got some anti-anxiety medication. He's like, oh, are you having a lot of anxiety right now? I'm like, yeah, I can't even eat. I can't sleep. Which is, the eating part is kind of true. The sleeping part, it would be true if I didn't have the Ativan. But yeah, I mean, the Ativan keeps me from being that sick. But anyway, yeah, so we were talking about that, and he's like, well, he's like, I don't, I know, I just, that was ice in the glass, adjusting itself or whatever, melting. Anyway, like he's like, well, I don't think Ativan's enough. I'm like, I'm on antidepressants too, Dad. He's like, well, I think you should see a counselor. I'm like, okay, well, I will look into that. I don't even know if I can even get a counselor, but I'll try. The next time I talk to my doctor, which I might have to go in again soon and talk to her. I don't know what happened, but for some reason, my vagina, I think it's a yeast infection. But for some reason, my vagina has been like having issues. I've been having cramps, and I've been kind of itchy, not like super itchy, but a little bit itchy, and feels irritated a little bit. Not terrible. Feels slightly irritated, slightly itchy, and there's some very weird, like, it's not weird, but it's just kind of gooey discharge that's coming out, which sounds disgusting, I know. But yeah, if it doesn't stop by next Monday, I'm gonna call the doctor and ask for an appointment and just be like, I'm having some issues. I don't know how, because Jeremy wore a condom when we had sex. And by the way, guess what? We're not talking anymore. I guess he got what he wanted, so whatever, men fucking suck. I can tell you this, I don't care how long I've fucking known this guy, but unless we're in a relationship, unless James and I get into a relationship, if and when if James and I hit it off, which I doubt, if James and I end up hitting it off, we are going to be not having sex unless we get in a relationship. If we get in a relationship, I'm still not putting my Facebook back on, because I don't want people to know that I'm in a relationship. I just don't want them to know that. So, because another part of the conversation that my dad told me about was, oh, you seem to go through these cycles with, over and over again, with men and blah blah blah, where you think you're happy for a while, and then all of a sudden something happens, and then you're not happy anymore. Well, gee, Dad, what do you think the reason for that is? Have you ever been sexually abused as a child? No. Then shut the fuck up. Were you abused emotionally by your mother as a young child? No, you weren't, so shut the fuck up. You know, were you abandoned by your boyfriend that you thought was there for you? Probably the most integral part of your relationship. No. So shut the fuck up. Of course I'm depressed, Dad. You can go fuck yourself. I really wanted to tell him that, but I didn't. I just was quiet. I just didn't even say anything at all. Ugh, watery orange juice. Yummy. I just don't feel like it's really fair for him to assume that, to sit there and just point, this is counterproductive, Dad. This is just sitting here and pointing the finger at me over and over and over again, making me feel like a bag of garbage. You're sitting here and you're just telling me what's wrong with me over and over and over again. Instead of helping me, you're sitting there and telling me what I need, what's wrong with me. So yeah, that was our conversation pretty much. It basically started with me telling him that I was on Ativan and why. And he's telling me, well, you shouldn't rely on Ativan forever because it's just a temporary fix. It's a Band-Aid and you need to go get help from a counselor. Well, the last time I got help from a counselor, quote unquote, help, was like back when I was like 20 something. And that counselor didn't help me worth shit. She was the most like biased person in the world. It was like, she didn't help me. This is why I have a problem with going to counselors anymore, because I just don't feel like they help me. Especially if my insurance only allows me to speak to someone like 12 times out of the year. That's like once a month. How is that going to help me? For any kind of progress to happen, I need to talk to them like at least once a week. And that's not going to happen. Not with the money that I don't have. So, and what's worse, my dad's telling me that, oh, I can certainly help you with paying for a counselor if you need one. But oh no, I can't help you with your rent anymore at all. Gee, thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. That helps me a lot. And then so then I was trying to speak realistically, and I was just like, yeah, so I'm just a little worried because I might not end up getting a job by the end of the month, and then I might end up having to find somebody to sublet my apartment and move into my mom's. And he flew off the handle, and he's like, Grace, you gotta stop talking so negatively. This is not gonna get you anywhere. I understand that, I just don't have the money to help you. And I was like, I wasn't asking for money to help you. I know you helped me, and I appreciate that. I really do. I know you don't have the money to help me anymore. I wasn't expecting you. I wasn't hinting at you helping me anymore. I'm just saying that, if I don't get a job, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to have to move in with my mom. And he's like, you need to stop thinking so negatively because, yeah, went off on that spiel. And, yeah, that was fun. Made me cry. Like, yeah, his conversation is beating me down emotionally. Didn't really help. Told me that I guess the gist of it was he told me that I wasn't trying hard enough and that I need to stop being so negative. Jeez, what do you expect me to do, Dad? Like, do you expect me to just be happy-go-lucky? Oh, my friend died, and my boyfriend just broke up with me, and I lost my job. I'm so happy. Everything is great. I guess that's the kind of attitude he wants me to have. I don't know. So then I was like, well, what do you want me to do, Dad? Just be a robot and just not divulge my feelings to anybody at all ever anymore? He's like, oh, well, that's not fair. Don't be unfair, Grace. Well, that's what you're fucking telling me to do. Do I feel comfortable talking to you about anything anymore? No. I should have told him that. I should have been like, Dad, I don't even feel comfortable talking to you about anything anymore. So every time I do, you just like beat me down. And I just don't want that. I can't handle it right now. I'm trying my best, okay? I really am. But given the circumstances, it's a little bit difficult for me right now. You know? Anyway, I'm getting tired, so guess I better go. Anyway, yeah, and it's like almost twice as long as I normally should be doing for an entry for a video entry. So yeah, I mean that was my day today. I'll let you know what happens on the thing with James. I don't know what's gonna happen. Hope he doesn't end up standing me up like Danny did. That would suck balls. I'm just not gonna even say anything if he does that. Alright, well, talk to y'all tomorrow. And yeah, more news then. Alright, good night.